All right, it's time for some Fox feedback. Okay, so this post was prompted by somebody on social media. You know, I get ideas from scrolling, and people are like, oh, my first job was this, and I learned this because of this and life experience.
Yes.
Because sometimes you learn a lot, especially from that first job.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have a good employer or a bad employer, a good boss or a bad boss,
Yeah.
you know, there's so many things
Yeah.
that you take with you for the rest of your life in your job. So we just kind of posted, what was your first job as a teenager? And then I added, and what did you learn from it? And you don't have to put that if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious where people got their first jobs.
Where did they get their start? Why can't I talk today? Clearly, this was not my first job because I can't talk on camera.
Maddie, how old were you when you started to talk, do you think?
When I started to talk, I think I was about 30.
Nailed it. Okay.
Just in time to get this job.
Okay, let's start with Jen Elam Tatum. She said the Waffle House, breakfast time in the 80s.
If I have learned anything about the Waffle House, they do a whole thing. What's it? Gravy, bacon.
I love their hash browns, scattered, covered, chunked, and yeah, whatever the words are.
And then Kaylee, our sound, she does our sound, she said that she also worked at Waffle House, and there are codes for everything. If there's a mustard packet on the left, it means it goes here. If there's mayo and mustard on the right, it's crazy.
Have you heard this one? Put Adam and Eve on a rock and rock 'em. Put Adam and Eve on a raft and wreck 'em. Something like that.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But I've heard Waffle House is very, intense. Steve J. Thompson, Millett's, tropical fish and aquarium supplies in Kansas City, Missouri, just how the working world works. I'm guessing that's what he learned.
Oh.
The working world.
Yeah.
It's busy.
That's fine, a tropical fish place. Oh, Pat Denning. Can I just say, I love Pat Denning. When I was a child, she went to my grandparents' church.
Okay.
So I knew her from the congregation, and she lives in Washington State, love her. She says, Jerry's restaurant when I was 15. Now, Jerry's must be in Washington State, that's where she's from.
Okay.
So I'm curious what Jerry's is.
Oh.
I love you, Pat.
Also,
So sweet.
just a very quick side note. Jeremy, what would be a short name for that? Would it be Jerry? And why don't you go by that?
I don't like Jerry.
Okay. Sorry.
Jerry is not a nickname for Jeremy.
ADD for me.
Do not call me Jerry.
Don't call me late for dinner.
And just call me for some lobster.
There you go. Okay, Kelly Wentling, Lotta Burger. What? So Lotta Burger, we cut the potatoes and made our fries, onions. I hated them things, made me cry every time. Worked the window as well. Fun job.
I wonder if Lotta Burger is related to
Whataburger.
It's the
Whataburger, Lotta Burger.
Karen Jean Hewitt, Church's Chicken. Do we have a Church's Chicken here?
I thought,
Anybody
no.
know if we have? Because we have it in Texas, and we love some Church's Chicken.
Church's Chicken.
Church's Chicken.
Okay, Nathan Wood said Hardee's and mowed 10 yards a week. That is a lot.
And by the way, Nathan, we love you. Nathan, what he is a friend of show. We love you, Nathan. By the way, too, I forgot to mention, I always say my first job was YMCA.
Okay.
However, when I was in Washington State, when my friend Matthew would go on vacation, I would do his paper route for him. My grandma would drive the car.
Oh, okay.
And I would have the thing, and I'd throw out papers, and then I'd get paid for that week when he was on vacation.
Very nice.
I did do that. That
Very
made me think
nice.
that. Karen Orchard, Taco Bell. I learned good work ethic and not to quit. Karen, I agree with you. However, I've always thought I can never work at a restaurant that I love because I kind of don't want to see how
it's made
or how things work. I just want to enjoy the food.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's fine and clean because I eat at Taco Bell all the time.
There you go. Melody Craigmile Wright, Wendy's, and that was the uniform.
What? Yay!
Melody, we were just talking about how awesome these uniforms are and how we wish they would come back in style.
Quick question. Melody, if you're watching, Melody, please let us know. A, if you got to keep it.
Oh, yeah.
B, if you still have it. And C, did they make you buy it?
Just take it out of your paycheck.
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions, Melody.
Okay. Catherine Squashingoff, our wonderful deaf viewer, we love you. She was a florist when she was 14, and she learned to work smart, not hard. We've said that how many times?
Jeremy says it to me on a weekly basis. Work
In a
smarter.
nice way.
And because I tend to make things harder for no reason. And it is very true. Work smarter, not harder. Okay, Rick Inman said sorted bottles at Ramey's in Republic, $1.25 an hour.
Oh.
Wowza.
We won't ask what year that was.
No.
Wowza.
$1.25 an
Walter
hour?
Cox and Mr. Biscuit, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Oh my gosh, I've been to Hot Springs. I don't remember Mr. Biscuit, but it sounds good.
Okay, Mary Gramley Urias, babysitting than Omega Burgers in California.
Do you know that?
I do not know Omega Burgers, but
That sounds.
I wonder if it started before In-N-Out or at the same time
sounds so
or
good.
after.
Lee Bartlett, Christian bookstore in Mesa, Arizona. I love the smell of books. I'll be honest, I do too.
Same. Walking into a bookstore, I'm overcome with just memories of my
I
childhood.
loved to walk into our public library in Texas because it was the smell of old books and mold.
Yes.
I loved it.
And that, did you
I
guys
loved
have,
it.
did you have bookmobiles?
Yes!
I loved the bookmobile when I would come to school.
What's odd is I don't like to read, but I love the smell of books.
Of course. Okay, Nancy Whitmer Fennel, horseback riding stable. I bridled, and saddled the horses. I fed and brushed the horses after their rides.
That's a great job.
Yeah.
And
Therapeutic.
Did we talk about your first job? I can't remember now.
Well, it was the typical babysitting, but then I got into banquet serving. So I would say that was my first official job where I was on payroll, paid taxes, all that.
Oh,
banquet
that's
serving.
nice,
It's
yeah.
continued with me my entire life.
Yes. So
Paper
I did the
route.
paper route exactly when I was little. Little League concession stands.
That's right, because you got in the
Got
fight.
in a fight. And then YMCA Cowboy. So
Okay.
that was like pre-teen, like early teen leading up to like
Yeah.
however old you could be to work at the Y, like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
So anyway. But thanks for all your answers. We love those. We love learning about restaurants, and I now need to Google and try.
And try all these.